What's going on, guys? UFC Fight Night Adesanya versus Imavov just wrapped up. Today we're going to go over the recap and breakdowns of all the fights. Let's get straight into it. First fight, Hamdi Abdelwahab defeats Jamal Pogues via a split decision. Not really much to talk about here. I thought Hamdi was going to win with the wrestling, but he ended up winning by just having the better shots and the harder punches. So good win for Hamdi. I don't know. Jamal Pogues, he looked in there, sorta. I don't know. He was getting his volume going, but not much power shots. It was pretty much all Hamdi. And yeah, not really much to talk about with this fight. It's two fat, obese heavyweights. Let's move on to the next fight. Bogdan Grod TKO's Lucas Alexander in the second round. Pretty good win for Bogdan. Lucas was looking good in the first round. I thought he won the first round, got more control, more strikes. But in the second round, Bogdan, he upped the pace and upped the pressure and just, eventually got on top of him and just pounded him out. Big pause. But yeah, I mean, Bogdan, I still don't think he's like anything elite or anything like too crazy. But I will say he is a good pressure fighter. He does put a good pressure on his opponents, so that could probably help him go decently far. But yeah, nothing else really to talk about with this fight. Let's move on to the next one. Jasmine Jesuda Vicious defeats Mayra Bueno Silva via a 30-27 unanimous decision. She got the takedowns, got the control, and Mayra Bueno Silva's cardio was the downfall, like I said it would be. She was looking solid in the first round, landed some good shots, but she didn't get any takedowns of her own, no control. Jasmine went 3 for 5 on takedowns, so pretty good, and had 7 minutes of control time. So yeah, just pure dominance. A lot of good ground and pound shots too from Jasmine. She's very good in top control. I will say, if she can get you down, she's very dominant in top position, and she's very hard to just shuck off. So yeah, great win for Jasmine. Mayra, man, like she really needs to get that cardio sorted out because it has been the downfall of her in her last 3 fights. The Meisha Shiatson fight, kind of not really. That was more just the cut, but like in the Raquel Pennington fight and in this fight, her cardio has been a big problem. So she needs to get that sorted out. But yeah, without further ado, let's move on to the next fight. Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hadzovic. Terrence McKinney TKOs Damir in the first round. This was pretty much to be expected. I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to be more of like a 1-2 down the middle and Damir goes to sleep sort of thing. But this was still good for McKinney. He lands a couple good shots on the feet. Damir gets him down, but McKinney reverses and ends up on top and just ground and pound until the ref stops it. So yeah, good win for McKinney. It's pretty much the story of every McKinney fight. Either he gets finished in the first or he finishes his opponent in the first. And Damir, man, you got to retire, bro. Like, you're old, haven't won a fight in ages. You did not look good in that fight at all. Just retire, bro. Like, you're done. Like, it's off to the GFL to fight fucking Anthony Pettis or some shit. But yeah, good win for Terrence McKinney. Let's move on to the next fight. Shamil the Meal Deal Gaziev puts Thomas Peterson to sleep in the first round. Sick performance from Gaziev. This guy has serious power in his hands. Just a straight right down the middle, and boom, Peterson's down and out. Peterson, man, he looks like he's taken one too many trips down to Abdel Wahab Kebab. I'm not gonna lie to you, or Hamdi Hamburgers. He needs to stay in the gym and get in better shape. This guy genuinely, when him and Gaziev were in the cage together, I could not believe they were in the same weight class. Peterson genuinely looks like he could be a fucking lightweight. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Gaziev's like an actual heavyweight. Peterson looks like he could be a fucking. Peterson could cut down to bantamweight and fucking fight Marab. I'm not even gonna lie to you, this fucking fat prick. But nah, I mean, honestly, he didn't do like horrible. He landed some good strikes. He got a takedown, which was interesting. I thought Gaziev was cooked. I'm not gonna lie to you, but Gaziev got up pretty quick, as he does. The goat, Shamil Gaziev, the heavyweight goat, gets up, right hand down the middle, boom. Thomas Peterson is out, and yeah, great win for Shamil Gaziev. Thomas Peterson hit the gym low, bro. You could be a fucking bantamweight. But yeah, great performance. Let's move on to the next fight. Muhammad Naimov defeats Khan Offley via a 30-27 unanimous decision. Yeah, clean performance from Naimov. I wouldn't say he looked like elite or anything. It was more just Offley looked kind of mid. Went 0 for 6 on takedowns. Had a couple minutes of cage control. That's about it. But yeah, Naimov outstruck him. 2 for 2 on takedowns. Out grappled him. Out controlled him. Everything, man. Just beat him in every area of MMA. I can't believe, like, Volk picked this guy to win. Volk picked Khan Offley to win. Like, what are you, a fucking casual? Like, who do you think you are? But nah, yeah, I don't know, clean performance from Naimov. I wouldn't say he looked elite or nothing. Honestly, like, I don't know how good Naimov is. Like, I actually don't think he's like crazy good. I don't think he's like top 10 worthy in the featherweight division. I don't think he's top 10 worthy. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a bit overrated. I think he can sneak into the top 15, maybe around there, but I think he loses to most of the guys in the top 10 pretty comfortably. Maybe he has some close fights. Maybe there's a couple guys he can beat, but I don't know, man. Naimov, I think he's good, but he's being overrated. He's not as good as a lot of people think he is. I thought he was going to get the finish here, but Offley stayed in it, so fair play for that. But got outperformed in every aspect of MMA. So yeah, good win for Muhammad Naimov. Let's move on to the next fight. Fares Ziem defeats Mike Davis via a 30-27 unanimous decision. Honestly, like, not to take anything away from Ziem, this was a great performance, but Davis looked, man, Mike Davis did not look himself. This was not the Mike Davis that we're used to seeing. Like, I don't know what it was, man, but like, he looked timid, he looked more nervous, he was throwing less volume, he wasn't fighting at the pace that he usually fights at. And like, he was pulling guard, man. Like, come on, this is not the Mike Davis that I'm used to seeing. This is not the Mike Davis that fought Natan Levy. This is not the Mike Davis that fucking bullied Vyacheslav Borshev on the ground. Like, come on, man. Like, I was originally going to go with ZM too, but I wasn't expecting Davis to show up like that and just not look himself. You know, I would say it's like the layoff that did that to him. He hasn't fought in about a year. But I mean, like, before that, like, he had an even longer layoff of 2 years, and he came back against Anton Levy and looked amazing and dominant and finished him with a submission. And like, Davis, he had a few decent moments in this fight where he had Fares ZM and like a calf slicer, which got pretty close. And in the first round, he had like he did a little crafty move where he kind of had the back of ZM, threw him up in the air, caught him in a body triangle, like while having his back, and then sort of pulled him to the ground with him, which was pretty crafty, pretty smart. That's the Mike Davis we're used to seeing. A crafty, high fight IQ, sort of slick guy. He's good on the feet. He's tall. He gets the takedowns, but man, he just did not look himself in this fight. I'm sounding like a fucking coat merchant right now, but it's true, man. Like, anybody that watched that fight and has seen Mike Davis fights before will tell you that is not the Mike Davis that we usually see. But yeah, great win for Fares Ziam. He looked sharp. His striking looked good. His takedowns looked good. He picked up and slammed Davis like twice, I think. So good for that, man. Like, Fares Ziam is showing to be well-rounded, not just a striker. So that's nice. And yeah, without further ado, let's move on to the next fight. Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Vinicius Oliveira gets the 29-28 unanimous decision win. Honestly, this fight went exactly how I said it was going to go in my breakdown video, aside from the winner, of course. But first round, like I said, Saeed was going to be faster. Saeed was going to outland Vinicius Oliveira, and that's exactly what happened. He was faster and he outlanded Oliveira. But the second and third round, I said in my video, completely depends on if Saeed gasses out too much or not. Because Saeed slows down in all of his fights, right? But in my head, I was thinking, can Saeed survive long enough with his cardio to do enough in the second round? That was the only way he wins the fight. I knew he wasn't going to win the third, no way. But the second round, in my head, I was thinking, okay, he can reserve himself a little bit, and he can do enough in the second to win with the takedowns and everything like that. But no, he couldn't really get any takedowns going on Vinicius, which is honestly, it was kind of expected. I don't know why I said he was going to do good with his wrestling. Saeed's not really this wrestling kind of guy. He has a low takedown accuracy. Vinicius out-grappled him. Saeed went 1 for 9 on takedowns and 58 seconds of control. Vinicius went 3 for 5 and 7 minutes of control. So good stuff from Vinicius there, showing that he is well-rounded, not just a wild striker. But man, yeah, this fight went exactly how I said it was going to go. Saeed could not keep up the pace for the second and third round. Wasn't really able to get anything going. And yeah, he was too gassed. He was simply too gassed out, and Vinicius took advantage of that and just pushed a pace on him and won the second and third round pretty easily. So yeah, good win for Vinicius Oliveira. Honestly, like, this kid's entertaining, man. This kid is a fun, entertaining fighter. He's got a lot of potential in this division, I'm not going to lie. I cannot wait to see where he goes with his career, but yeah, great win for Vinicius Oliveira. Good name on the resume. Let's move on to the next fight. Sergey Pavlovich racism maxes his way through Jairzinho Rozenstruik to win a 30-27 unanimous decision. Turned into a bit of a wrestler, I'm not going to lie. Had a much more patient approach than he usually does. I'm not going to lie, like, patient Pavlovich, man, this guy might be champ. But like, dude, this feels so weird to say. Pavlovich winning a decision. Like, what did Aspinall do to this guy? Aspinall turned him into, like, a patient, like, composed fighter. Like, it's weird. But, like, you know, I don't know. I thought for sure if this fight left the first round, Pavlovich was going to start getting agitated, try to rush a finish, and Rozenstruik was going to be able to capitalize off of that. Thought he was going to be able to circle the outside, pick him apart some more, beat him to some of the punches, but Pavlovich, it's like Rozenstruik was scared to engage, and Pavlovich just took advantage of that and landed his jabs, landed a few good right hands that wobbled Rozenstruik, and he became a wrestler. He got 2 takedowns, controlled him for 6 minutes, so yeah, I mean, Sergey Pavlovich, Aspinall turned this fucking guy into a wrestler. So that's cool. Sergey Pavlovich is now a calm, composed wrestler in the heavyweight division. So that's fun to see. But yeah, Uh, Not really much else to say. Great win for Sergey Pavlovich. Sucks to see Rosenstrike lose, but it is what it is. Can't have everything. Good to see Sergey get back in the win column. And yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Michael Venom Page schools Shara Magomedov and fraud checks him, sends him back down to the Apex. Off you go, buddy, to the GFL. But nah, clean performance from Michael Venom Page. I don't want to call this a Shara fraud check. It's just the fact that you can't strike with Michael Venom Page. He's too fast, too explosive, too dynamic, like too hard to hit. You just can't. So not a fraud check for Shara. I definitely think Shara is still very good. He can definitely still get a bunch of good wins, but man, MVP, he's simply too much. He's simply too dynamic on the feet. And yeah, clean 30-27 performance. I was scared that he was going to get like robbed because it's in Saudi. I was afraid they were just going to give it to Shara as like some bullshit robbery, but the judging was good tonight. There wasn't any bad controversial decisions. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. But man, Michael Venom Page, sorry, very clean performance. And man, Shara just had nothing for him. I said in the thing, Shara is too hittable. He's too open for counters. He's too open for, quick shots. And, like, he just didn't have the wrestling to fall back onto. And he wouldn't be fast enough. Like, this is a clear cut, easy pick on Michael Venom Page. This was a clear, if you didn't pick Michael Venom Page, like, I don't know, you're a bit of a casual if you pick Shara. Because, like, realistically, what was Shara going to do? Shara's only chance was, like, a lucky knockout. And, like, people underestimate Michael Venom Page's durability. They think, for some reason, people were saying that MVP is going to get, like, KO'd. He has, like, a glass jaw. When has MVP shown he has a glass jaw? He's been KO'd once in, like, 25 professional fights or something. Like, he does not have a glass jaw. Like, he's durable. But, yeah, clean performance from Michael Venom Page. Not much else to say. Let's move on to the main event next. Well, well, well. I fucking called it. Nasruddin Imavov TKOs Israel Adesanya in round 2, drops him bad with a right hand over the top, and just sits Adesanya down and then finishes him with ground and pound. A lot of people were crying early stoppage. That was not an early stoppage. Do you guys want Izzy to fucking die? Because Imavov, like, Izzy was not recovering from that. Imavov was just going to keep beating his head in. But yeah, I mean, clean performance from Imavov. First round, Izzy was landing some good kicks. He was looking quick off the start, but Imavov lands a good uppercut, which kind of rocks Izzy's head back. Izzy recovers well. First round could go either way, and then second round, man, Imavov with the threatening the takedowns. I said Izzy was going to leave himself wide open, trying to defend those takedowns. He was going to be too worried about the takedowns and leave himself open on the feet. And Imavov capitalized off of that. Got in on the inside. He has very fast hands on the inside, very good power, good boxing, and boom, just right hand sits Izzy down and then finishes it with ground and pound. Clean performance from Imavov. Man, I'm really happy right now, man. The MVP and Imavov wins were two wins that I really needed. Both of those wins made me very happy, and yeah, great win for Nasruddin Imavov. Title shot next. Whoever wins between Drakus and Sean, they're gonna get to fight Hamzat, and then whoever Hamzat beats, it's gonna be Nasruddin Imavov versus Hamzat Chimaev for the belt. Do I think Imavov beats Hamzat? No. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Hamzat would beat him pretty comfortably. I'm not gonna sit here and glaze Imavov. He is one of my favorite fighters, but I'm not about to just sit here and glaze him like that. I don't think he'd win that. Maybe you never know. It's MMA, but yeah, man, great performance from Imavov. Izzy, I think it's time for Izzy to retire, man. 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's been finished in 2 of them. Finished in 3 of them, actually. Finished in 3 of them. The only decision lost was to Sean Strickland, which he got dropped in that fight. That's when I knew his chin was kind of degrading, and that's why I picked Imavov by KO because, Strickland dropped him, Drakus cracked him a few times, and Imavov, he's got that accuracy and power, and he's got that inside boxing. I knew he was going to be able to find the finish. Man, such a clean performance, great win, and yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the official recap. 7 for 11 on correct picks, pretty good. I made a goal with myself not to get more than 4 picks wrong, and I only got 4 wrong, so, pretty happy that I met my goal. Fight of the night, ZM versus Davis easily. A lot of blood, a lot of action, back and forth war. If only Davis was at his best, this fight would have been even better. There was a few other good fights, like the Oliveira versus Saeed fight was pretty fun. MVP versus Shara was fun, but it's got to be ZM versus Davis. And as for best finish, easily going to Nasruddin Imavov KO in Israel Adesanya. Sick finish, sick performance. This card overall was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun watching it. But yeah, that's my breakdown and recap. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys later. Peace.